Throw it in the towel, then you back and sin. We need the Holy Spirit, please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with a childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old. And following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks. And tell the young ladies they should save the sex. And tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really, really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on.
Into the black light, exit the madness.
Oh!
Yeah. Into the black light, exit the madness. You were king to the black.
You might want to start paying attention on this next verse.
You were king to the black light, exit.
Give me your attention for a minute. Damn. Come on. We from the same cut, but playing different positions. A top secret message got the president attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We on the get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's been cloudy, so I doubt you to remember that I walk with the king of kings inside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, no, the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fiery. We have no time for those that be acting grimy. Yeah, you see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you're free, your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You're a king. Free your mind, chick. You a queen. Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean soul, Caribbean. Yeah. Yes, bounce to this. I'm just a black man, title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And would you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat? You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, past sinful acts. Be very nimble, Jack, or Jill will get a water back. And have your heart broke just like a heart attack. Look where your power at, no, not the idle cats. It's deeper than tats and hurricanes and old maps. The spirit flows, so my folks throw daps. Meant for the wise as well as the spoiled brats. So you can fold up or either you can fold back. I hold no judgment over those that have chose crack. Terror over habit that has been proven to hold back. With God on your side, you can get your soul back.
Legs on this thing, where they go? I'm trying to break out the other one. Yeah, you see all the boxes up there, right? All right, good. All right. It's getting hot. Turn that down a little bit. Deep this music is.
Out of the mouth is a sword and I'm kicking you out. You trying to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew. Heavenly until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So be the knowledge, that means hold your head, let the past stay dead, and keep a level head, and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said, I'm hot like times in the rock, but you gotta stop when you're on your block. By the end of the night, I'll take this music. So my offended, I'm candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demanded. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General media bandit. I will focus on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more time in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There'd be many that stand whenever I rip. There's devastation whenever I rip. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit.
Sour soup leaves. I got some more. I got some fresher ones, but these are just as good. They're just dried. Okay, these are the ones that Snoop sent me. Alright? So it doesn't need to be boiling. Alright? Go ahead and put them in there and allow them to boil. Okay? I gotta let this settle. And then shake it again. So I'm gonna leave it out in the fridge. Just gonna let that, and I put about a cup and a half of water. I'm gonna let it boil down, boil off, and then it'll be ready. Don't use that black plastic stuff. Do not use that.
Do not pay attention in your history class. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up, son. It is written.
Make sure they get them in there. They'll curl a little bit. Some will sink, some will float.
So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo?
So I'll be having this tonight with a 1 cup of Cashapp. I'll be half of this. This is enough to feed 2 to 3 people. I'll be having this with some forbidden rice.
You know what it is. Listen.
No added vegetables. I got spinach, broccoli, and all. I'm not adding that. Just want the rice and the jackfruit with the teriyaki sauce. It's starting to boil. It only takes a couple of minutes. Then we're gonna let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes before I consume it. I mean, before I strain it, and you know. So now it's boiling. Put a lid on it because that water coming off is pure water. At least without all the sedatives, which usually hard and crusted around it, even from bottled water. All right. Let it boil up on high. About 30 seconds.
No longer having pride, we're still for rides.
I was a power lifter, so I'm still kind of big, but I ain't what I used to be. I could be, but I'm not trying to go that route. All right, take the lid off, turn it off. Water's boiling. Let it steep for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'll come back, strain it, and I'll consume it. I'm gonna let this settle, so I'm still moving it around. Let's go in here.
I truly doubt it. That's why we stay in the booth.
Let's turn this light off, actually.
All
right. What's wrong, Baba? You want to play? I'm not playing right now, Baba. All right. He wants to play. What? No, man. I'm not playing right now, Baba. All right. Relax. 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 I know it's bad. Relax. Okay? Get my reading hat on. What's up, Baba? Oh, it's that time. I'm sorry. I gotta give him something. My apologies, Baba. I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me get him this thing. Come on, Papa, come on. Come on.
Come on.
Go ahead, come on.
A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Hold up a minute, fam, let me ask you this. Did your last promotion offer you an ass to kiss? Hashtag for this. I know a better way, and many honestly wonder why you bastard shit. Your heart's got to be right.
I gotta even have this hat.
From here for animosity and
Rick,
hate. You can place it here. No time for pity.
Come on.
We party
Well, I gotta
all
vacuum
the way.
anyway.
No time to
Yeah, I
be
didn't
victim.
vacuum.
We got a call to take. Keep it
Yeah,
square
man.
and watch God fall the fate. A linebacker reads well before they call the play. Hoping you
Fall.
all would say. Hoping we all would pray. Invest a little bit of time in the
You
talk.
ready, huh? Look at you.
We got stakes in Israel with much more beef than the
You
show
ready?
can say. Now that's
Almost.
the way.
There you go.
No lust for the
Yeah.
throwbacks. In fact, give them all the way.
That's my
A
papa.
slave to the system.
Then I broke free.
Although I may not be with,
I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free.
Although I may not be with,
I wanna see my folk free.
A slave to the system. Then I broke
You ain't a
free.
slave to
Although
nothing.
I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system. Then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Inside my circles are depots and little Urkels and need no brown
Debo's, little Urkels.
Too many out to take you. Plotting schemes for your paycheck. And no, I'm not a snitch just because I come and say that. Look, dude, I don't play that. When my boy Gino was killed, you know you saw me on the news. If you choose to look way back, so stay back. I'm militant like Osama, intelligent like Obama. And you can ask your mama, no need to wonder. I'm like the 10th one under the commission of the author of life.
That thing got hot? Humid? I love the humidity though.
And if you got the last lick, quickly remember you. I have changed, but still things remain the same. Slave masters got these brothers' brains and chains. Yo, I'm feeling your pain. Down and out in life.
Snoo, what's up, baby?
But not seeing the change.
Look up, nigga. Oh, Mac, Marcus. What's going on? What's in the corner of the ceiling behind you? Huh? What are you talking about? With the picture?
Then I broke free. Although I may not be,
Corner of the
I wanna
ceiling
see my
behind
folk
you.
free. A slave to the system. Then I broke
That's a
free.
whole. That's from a plant that used to hang there. A camera, I mean. A camera. That's a wire. There used to be a camera there. To look at it. I don't know who lived here, but I'm not. I wouldn't put a camera there. Delusions. I'm like, I got you. Salsa leaf for my ginger tea today. Oh, baby, it's good stuff, ain't it? It's excellent stuff. What was that, bro? Look up, nigga. What? Look up where? That right there is a black spot. It's from a camera. No, I welcome bugs. They can crawl under my door. I've had lizards in here. I had to smack his head one time. I had a lizard in his mouth. And it was alive. It ran right from back up under the door. I think they had a message, don't come up in here. Yeah, he had them in his mouth. I was like, you ain't licking my hand, lizard all in your mouth. But they come because the little flap is like, it's old. So I'm not putting a new one. And look, I can tell you ain't coming because otherwise you wouldn't be worried about no damn bugs. What's going to be going on. Look. Oh, let me stop. So, brother Max V. There's a couple of pale skin guys, right? They put it out. They got 20 acres. Niggas, everybody running to the land to build on it. Here we got brothers. Brother got 27. Another brother got 40. One got 17. Another one got 100 in Texas. Y'all don't even know what an acre look like. And y'all staying right where you at. See, I thought I was talking to the most intelligent mofos. Some of you got a house or something you got passed down. You think everything's going to pass over and it's going to be all right. We need all hands on deck. And I'm not asking y'all no more. I ain't scared of no damn, but hey, don't be letting the motherfucker piss in your cereal, baby girl. Relax. Goddamn, missed my photo shoot today. Anywho, like I was saying, and they just recently did it. A couple of brothers went out there, no face, and they camels. They're like already working. So yeah, teacher, she thinking about moving into this apartment. She's been here. I helped her and her son, who's autistic, till she got with her boyfriend, got up out of there. But she knows she's tired of living with her in-laws. Now Navajo mother-in-laws are some of the worst or the most loving. It's just the way it is. And yeah, so I told her, yeah, be up out of here. And when I get ready to get up out of somewhere, it goes quick. It looks like a lot. I've done it so many times. This is the last time. And yeah. And my thing is, I look at my truck payment. The thing is, you get vehicles when you pay on a promissory note. You know that. So when they fill it out, it's already paid for. But these car companies are corrupt, and the bank they utilize is somebody who they say, okay, we're both going to get rich. Let's rob them. So it's not just double dipping, it's triple dipping. So I'm going to sue them for every bit of that money back, because I got all the titles, this, that, and other, that shows that what they've done is illegal, and show them that they know damn well the promissory note, just when you sign your name alone, is a promise. You don't have to say that's a promissory. And I'm going to hit them. I'm going to hit them so hard. They don't know what's coming. It's going to be left, right, left, right. You know what I'm saying? And I actually informed somebody at that little fake bank of theirs, right, who think they're hidden, but you have a Gmail account. So it doesn't matter if they have one or not. I know where they're located at. I'll take the letter with the affidavit, take it and drop it off to them, and then see what part they want to play. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to pay all of that back. It don't matter what's going on, because the money's worthless. It's empty. The banks don't have money. Credit unions work off of credit depending on what's in your trust. And they will never tell you that because they think you're dumb, and the people that work at these banks and institutions are too stupid to know better. It's the people at the top. Either they can say, okay, well, this one knows, as long as he or she is silent. See, this is where they've screwed up. And that's why they're having all these wars, because people are they're outright done. And then you got these police. I mean, where is that? In Ohio, where they killed that 53-year-old man, these fake ass cops. One, and you see is a fake Jew put his knee on his back, and when he tell him he couldn't breathe, they handcuffed him. He's sitting there with his knee on his back for 6 minutes. And then they go to check his pulse while he's laying on his face, unresponsive, check his pulse, and they start CPR as if they're being valiant. No, this is because you know why? Because there's not enough niggas moving together to stop this. Now, he was locked up and did a 20-something year bid. But see, nobody wants to have that conversation because y'all like to forego anything because, like I said, you've been pacified. Every one of you have been pacified. And you don't think so because you could get a little emotional feeling and go, that means something. No, you have been pacified. All right? Let me get in the reading. T. Hines, what's up, beloved? Cure Meal, what's up? Pedophilia, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Gee, what you done smoked? Finish and stop worrying about the dog out there, bro. Ain't nobody coming up in here holding his own fill rate on the stretcher. So no, he died right there. He was unresponsive. They couldn't get him going again. Read into it. And now the idiot went and sat with the family. They put a hit on the man. The man knew stuff. But there's a lot of people out of prison that know stuff. It depends on what game you want to play. He said they're here to kill me. He saw it in their face. Even the lady that was there saw that they looked kind of different. They didn't like they was coming to arrest nobody. You know, he had hit some pole or something like that, and the car door was open in the field with the airbags deployed, and he ran into this bar or whatever. And they went in there, and he didn't want to go. I mean, yeah, he could have went and said, okay, but what is it that he knew? Because he could have got Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. I'm just saying. And a lot of that's going on. That's why I say keep your peoples out of them damn POW camps. Ain't nothing but for experimentation. As you saw, I read by the CIA and what they did and what they've utilized. Besides everybody in so-called America anyway. Let's get into reading because I don't want to be on here too long. I need to go and pour that tea out. Actually, I think it's wrong. And then 5 left shoes trying to run a marathon. Let's get this 100 years lynching, and then I'll go in there and pour the tea out and let y'all see what it looks like. So this is going to be 100 years of lynching by Ruth Ginsburg. Okay. I still haven't received that other one. I have another book. I'm not going to, it's very graphic, that one. But maybe one day. Okay. Here we go. Let me make sure it's the right thing. So anyway, Chicago Tribune, March 26, 1910, excuse me. Interracial couples conduct result in lynching of man. Now, what you need to know is that this individual, if you look into his name, he was the owner of not just property, but he was fairly pretty, he wasn't broke. See, if you ever take a good look at the lynching cards and stuff and look at some of their shoes, you would know this if you know what the shoes were. You would see the wingtips on their feet, pulled out the house, dressed up real hastily, suspenders. You got to pay attention to the fine detail. But the Jim Crow movies and all that fake stuff will have you believe, oh, it's ragtag, cotton picker with suspenders. It's not how it worked. Slave narrative, nobody had suspenders. And if anything, they had ropes. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, honey. Frank Tyson, 53, they had killed his, yes, they did, killed him. They killed him, and he was unresponsive. They performed CPR. He was dead when they put him in. What was the code on the car? You don't want to say, I mean, the ambulance. If it was the white lights or were they flashing, were they in a rush? I mean, he was unresponsive for 8 minutes. You know? But anyway, right, check this out. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, March 25th. Resenting alleged improper conduct on the part of Judge Jones, a Negro. Again, listen. Resenting alleged improper conduct on the part of Judge Jones, a Negro and a young white woman. A mob of 40, didn't say African, there was no such thing. A mob of 40 men gathered at the county jail here tonight, overpowered the jailer and his deputies, which they never overpowered anybody, and hanged the Negro. When we go back, Ham, the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negro. It's very specific. And that's what really troubles me is the more foreigners they bring into this place, and half of them claim to be Christian. The other ones, the Muslims don't have a problem. I knew many Muslims who knew exactly what we were and who we are. New York Press, 9 lynchings. I saw on TV him holding his heart machine on it, but it's not there here. No, he's holding his, it looks like he's holding it, right? Well, I've seen quite a few dead people holding something on the stretcher, on that witch call, getting into an ambulance. Little Rock, Arkansas, March 25th. A special from DeWitt says 5 Negroes have been taken from the guards at St. Charles, this county, and shot to death by a mob. This makes 9 Negroes who have been killed in the last week in the vicinity of St. Charles on account of race troubles. Now, St. Charles, I want you to look at who were the prominent people who owned most of the shops and the lands, and then how long it shifted based upon 1904 and 1910, all the way up to 1920 and 40, when certain people all of a sudden were all over the land, as when I was reading, exposing the expositions, how all of a sudden 600 became 1,000, 1,000 became 65,000, and before you know it was 200,000. Make it make sense. And within a 4-year period, nobody's having babies like that. Okay? I just want to give you all the simple stuff. I don't want to work you up. You know what I'm saying? The Negro Project. Margaret Sanger's diabolical, duplicitous, dangerous, disastrous, and deadly plan for Black America. They use that because they need the conditioning. You're not Black. You damn sure ain't African. And you know, there's people who would hate to have to, they feel like if they, see, this is how dumb many people in this world are, so-called Native Americans, pale skins, It's not all, but it's enough. They feel like if they admit or omit to the fact that you are autochthonous or the true indigenous people, that they'll lose the land, they'll lose everything. This shows you how sick and ghastly sick these individuals are. Why would we do that? When most melanated brothers and sisters, the original people of these lands, want to be left alone. But see, that's not a way of a person who keeps, that's not the way of those who are warlike, the synagogue of Hashatan, Satan, whatever name you want to utilize. And they can never come to reasoning because their bloodline is so perverted. If you could really do a blood test, that's why you don't do it. You can see that their bloodline is really perverse. If you could look under a scope, a microscope, you would see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Was that increase from all immigrants coming in? It could be a number of things, hon. It could be partial at. Most immigrants, though, they really want some better. But the immigrants was a mask for the mercenaries and for those who the CIA wanted to bring in, who they can equip and prepare and do little hit and runs, mask up, costume up. They know it would be the proper punishment. Actually, we're not into punishing those who are nurtured in a lie. It's not, see, we're not being dismissive of their existence. That's an argumentative platform I do not partake in. But there's a lot of them who are just not who they say they are. A plethora of them. Had this one person want to argue about South America, and I said, well, you know anything about the Negritos? I said, it's funny with the language, and you look at the Philippines. Those people went there as conquerors, but they settled. And with the real tribe there, it was always a peaceful people. Even after they warred, they became one. Why is it so hard to accept that? I know people in Hawaii who are still the original people who I used to hang out with. And the ones who were their relatives, and later they even had a black, like Samoa, black motorcycle gang in prison. They were considered black. See, nobody in the Fiji Islands, the same thing when I went there. Andros Islands, they even used to talk about the world, how they always been there, and they're great seafarers, and they ended up staying there because when they were on the boats, they saw the war that was happening, and nobody found them on Andros Islands. I used to go to Andros Islands once every 6 months. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Panama, went there twice. My boy Omar Cordova. Dark as midnight. He's like, if somebody says, you from Africa? He said, Africa. His Spanish is an accent. He went to school with Omar. He said, Africa? Hey. No, man. It's this land. You know? See, people have a hard time dealing with this. And then I said, well, to my Native American, I said, how come y'all not in Cuba? Why y'all not on Easter Island? They call it Easter Island. And you know what Easter means to a false god. But they exterminated Britain, and they exterminated the people there. And the last few that they had, they brought them here and took them to Europe. It's a fact. You see what I'm saying? Gangster rap generation. Yeah, well, they were manipulated to be against their own. It's changing, though, because a lot of that so-called Gen X are coming into the reality. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's quick. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this, right? The state brought forth several witnesses who testified against Carrie, including Albert Priddy, the superintendent of the asylum where Emma was confined. Now, remember, we were discussing the different individuals who they were exterminating. He testified that Emma had a record of immorality, prostitution, immorality, prostitution, shiftiness, ignorance, and worthless class of antisocial whites of the South. Other witnesses at Carrie's trial included Arthur Easterbrook, a sociologist from the ERO, and a nurse who examined Vivian, the child whom Carrie had born and found her to be below average and not quite normal. Even Laughlin himself got into the act. And although he had never even met Carrie, let alone examined her, he wrote a deposition endorsing Priddy's, not Diddy's, contention regarding her alleged feeble-mindedness and moral delinquency. It sounds like some red flag stuff, doesn't it? Well, look, I saw them getting out the car and they had looked like a rifle bag, and a bag might have had ammo in it. Oh, let's go and arrest this fool. Well, this is part of the agenda, as was that. Man didn't even know this woman, but he went ahead and based on who he was and what letter he was able to write, just like what you're dealing with right now. It's repeating itself. They went ahead, and well, we get into that. It was later discovered that Carrie had become pregnant because she had been raped by a relative of her foster parents. She was an orphan. And not because she was sexually promiscuous. It was also shown that Vivian was not feeble-minded at all, but was actually a normal little girl who did so well in school that she was on the honor roll with an A average, no less. Now, you've seen Muslims who don't want their women to read, and you've seen in Hindu and Jakarta and places like that, women raped by their brothers or their cousins are taken out, and they're called mercy killings, and then stoned and put to death, and the men go on to celebrate and have sex with little boys and rape other women, even family members. When they put them to death, it is no longer an issue or problem. If that isn't, sadly, socially accepted, but a reality. Now, and it was also later discovered that Carey's defense lawyer was in on what could only be described as a fix of monstrous proportions in seeing that the Virginia law was upheld. The judge ruled that Carey was indeed mentally defective and was therefore to be sterilized to prevent other defective children from being born. Why? Because she was of our seed. Real simple. It's nothing complicated. The verdict was appealed to the United States Supreme Court, and that body rendered its final decision in 1927 in Buck versus Bell, with Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes presiding. Holmes was a proponent of eugenics, and thus should have stepped down from the case. However, it was his ruling that doomed young Carey, and the words he used in justifying his decision will undoubtedly be regarded in the same vein as those of Chief Justice Roger B. Taney in justifying slavery in the Dred Scott case. It is better for all the world, Holmes wrote, if instead of waiting to execute degenerate offspring for crime or to let them starve for their imbecility, society can prevent those who are manifestly unfit from continuing their kind. He concluded, 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. Are we not dealing with that today in a different manner? Are we not? Why would anybody have to argue with a school system of curriculum that has become perverse and more perverse over the last 25 years about who has the right to express to their children when DC has no rulership over the land, but because people have been groomed in a fake white supremacy and they can't bow their heads and say, wait a minute, it is our fault we are in this state, not knowing their truth, but accepting everything else given to them, as we're supposed to pardon them. I'm not saying we don't pardon. I'm not saying we can or cannot pardon them. I say we need to ascend beyond and above the nonsense we're dealing with. It's whimsical by trait, but character. It's about us having our own ethics. Do you know what that means? It's about us making better decisions, to which pacification also nullifies even proper choice making. You dig? Behold a Pale Horse by Mr. William Cooper. And there he is. I don't know how long that picture was taken. I don't know if he had one leg before they assassinated him in Arizona. But the man was on to something, and he had talked and conversed with many people. And this didn't pan out in his favor in the latter parts of the years, sadly. Let's go ahead. Remember, we are now in Article 10, Governmental Arrangements. Now, there are 9 sections, and they're pretty long, so we're going to read 2, because these 2 should take up more than enough time, and I would hope that you will really pay attention. So this, again, governmental arrangements. Remember, the Constitution was ratified. It was radicalized. That's what it was. And then it was adopted because it was already in existence. It was ours, of the Republic, to which they have, over time, in periodic domains or particular times or periods, perverse with a false sense of democracy, which is more allude to fascism. As you know, the majority, at least 80% of those Nazi scientists, government officials, yes, they're officers of the soldiers, SS, were brought here, and the ones they couldn't save, they would give them cyanide, and there were a few who were just not up to par. They were executed, and willingly so. Article X, governmental arrangements. Section 1. Officers of the new states of America should be those named in this Constitution, including those of the Legislative House and others authorized by law to be appointed. They shall be, if you remember paying attention to about the appointees, they shall be compensated, and none may have other paid occupation unless they be accepted by law. So who is to say that you have to be rich and all this fake monies and monetary to be in the government? because they were regular common folks, farmers. It was a certain group of individuals, Chazars, who changed the demography of all of that, if y'all have been paying attention. Okay. And none, may have other paid occupations. Pay attention. None shall have other paid occupations unless they be accepted by law. What law? None shall occupy more than one position in government. Hello? And no gift or favor shall be accepted if in any way related to official duty. And what are we dealing with right now? What is the corporation? What are those individuals called? Those rich people who pay to mitigate? What is Bloomberg doing? Wasn't he something in New York? Isn't he done? And how is he manipulating certain things based on the Constitution? What about all those other individuals with those parties where certain things happen that shouldn't? Is any of it constitutional or for this country? It is not the government. It is outside the government. Therefore, it is moot. Yet people, because of their ignorance, their fake stance, and now they've grafted in many sick individuals through all these different secret societies who will do nothing but cause harm. No income from former employments or associations. No income, pay attention, income from former employments or associations shall continue for their benefits, but their properties may be put in trust and managed without their intervention during continuance in office. Hardships under this rule may be considered by the court of rights and duties. None of them suffering from hardships, and exceptions may be made with due regard to the general intention. Wow. And are they teaching the young ones that? Section 2. The president, the vice president, and the principal justice shall have households appropriate to their duties, to which they haven't lived in since Trump. Some say before that. The president, the vice president, the principal justice, the chairman of the planning board, the regulator, the watchkeeper, and the overseer shall have salaries fixed by law and continued for life. But if they become members of the Senate, they shall have senatorial compensation and shall, listen to this, conform to senatorial requirements. Senatorial requirements. I had to look away. Senatorial requirements. That means it shall be changed. Justice of the high court shall have no term, and their salary shall be 2/3 that of the principal justice. They and members of the judicial council, unless they shall have become senators, shall be permanent members of the judiciary and shall be available for assignment by the principal justice. Salaries for members of the Senate shall be the same as for justices of the High Court of Appeals. Now, what I want to make as far as a statement, and I think a lot of you are going to sit there and say, whoa, that's right. Why is it? Is it every year they give themselves some kind of incredible raise? They know all the givings to beat taxes, to which they are actually supposed to pay. When was the last raise that was given, and how much was it? Are y'all aware of that? And all of it is illegal, unconstitutional. It is not for, of, or by the friggin' people, nor is it withstanding based on actual order. It is not something that should be happening. Yet, because people don't know these things, what is it that we deal with? And I hope you've been paying attention. I really do. Let me go and get this tea right quick, and I shall be right back. What is that, Papa? You is going. I'm emptying that thing in the garbage, man. You going retarded. Yeah, you know, man. Are you on the bed? Boy, you is straight. No, lost your cuckoo for cocoa puff. Okay, let me get this. Oh, you had to come back down here, Papa. I know. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, that's strong. That's kind of strong. Oh my goodness, that's kind of strong. Just a little bit. You don't want to drink a lot of it. Woo, chop. Woo, chop. Okay. Oh. Who you talking to? I got your other one over here. I gotta dump that out because you spreading it all over the place and it's starting to look like confetti up in here. Yeah, I'm talking to you. So, here we go. I let it sit a little too long. Well, it's not gonna be harmful, but with the medication I'm supposed to be taking, I gotta be careful. It smells so good. I should have put goji berries in it. And blueberries. Mm. Oh my goodness. Soursop leaves, exceptionally magnificent. I'm gonna give you the other one, but I gotta dump that and I gotta sweep because we're running back and this is ridiculous. Anyway, let me see who else came up in here. The son got sats coming up, yet he has to go through all this setting up just to take a test. We're gonna get it done, but these just children dealing with all this bureaucratic nonsense. You are right, hon. You're very right. Yep, satanic rituals are very bleak, and there are other names they utilize. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's that. Let's download that. Yep. Oh man, what's happening? Well, then why Pelosi make hundreds of thousands training while in office? Yo, all of them are doing it. Look at Hillary Clinton when she was in. All the scams she was running. Inside trading. Yes, all that. Baby girl slaughter. Yes, mama. No wonder dude went to her house to nix her. I'm not going to sit here and speak on that, but yeah. I can't see you, Nafki, but salutes. Oh, you must be on the road or something, beloved. Or work. I hope that y'all actually got something out of that. I hope it was meaningful. This is what I do. I like to take people to another point, and really look at things. Because a lot of people, I've heard enough people say, well, how did we get here? And I'm like, why aren't you finding out? That's what I say. Why aren't you finding out? You got the question. If you got the question, Google it. Ask Alexa. You think you got that thing in your house, don't you? Ask something. Because if you're not listening here, it's not complicated. You know what I'm saying? It's not complicated at all. You dig what I'm saying? I hope y'all checked out Ganja. Cure Me a day ago. He had a pretty good live up. Another part to the series. And anybody here from Chatter? Hi. I haven't heard nothing. I went over to Max V page to see if he got something new up. Anyway, so I just wanted to see what it was going on. Oh, they got some more. Dead Ukrainians, dead Russians. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cure Meal on dead Ukrainians and dead Russians. There's a whole lot of stuff on Telegram. I follow certain individuals who are veterans, and regardless of who's in favor of what, but these are literally videos that for those of us who know, who have seen that kind of stuff, it's just, you could see the insatiable appetite of these individuals. And you would think with all the death, one thing about war, you get into this mindset like, well, you're going to die, so you're going to take whoever you can. It becomes a you versus them, or them versus you. And it's no more moral subjugation. It's not. Those are the individuals I would love to see have some friggin' religion. Yet, the CCP did its job as far as Marxism based on, after the Bolshevik Wars, and the fact that Karl Marx didn't really put this stuff out. It was his cousin that did, based upon his wife who was arguing with him. He really wasn't really with all of it. And it has been used tens of millions of hundreds of millions of lives. And now it's going to get much worse. and nobody's paying attention. Somebody said that the UN convoy of arms or something was blown up by Russia. I don't know. I don't know whether, I'm not here to believe in nothing. Either we know or we don't know. If it is, what are we supposed to do about it? Somebody gonna go fly back in time and say, not today, bombs and missiles. You're not coming over here, UN. I mean, so why is it a drama? Like, what is the purpose of it? I can look at the videos because they don't faze me. It doesn't bother me to see things happen. Not at all. When I watched that little goofy drug cartel, remember, microwave that baby, and I watched it all the way through. And I sit there and said, well, that's as horrendous as it is. I went looking for to see what this individual is. And he looked every bit of ex-military. I shouldn't have mentioned that way, but it was the truth. It happened a few years back, and I watched the video. It's you always say to yourself, should you be on the righteous side of things? I'm here to tell you for a fact, in order to ascend, look the word up again. Being righteous has nothing to do with disproportionate immoral feelings and emotions. People, when they act out on disproportionate immorals and feelings, things that are not natural, you're going to act out in a way that is unnatural. If you're crying, you're going to cry uncontrollably because you didn't have no control. If you're going to lash out, you're going to lash out and do something you will regret that only took a second to rethink. Does that mean that you're being righteous? It's a start. Okay? But it doesn't mean that you can't defend yourself. And if you start seeking that path, you will look at things different. So when you act upon something, you will be not only clear in mind, body, and spirit, you will be clear in your actions. And first, you better know everything based upon the legalities that will pursue you, even though you're aware now that it really doesn't apply. But they will pursue you because they are still in the feelings emotion, the immoral subjugation. That means to subjugate you, the control factor to which they believe they have without knowing they really don't. Make sense? So be mindful, okay? Trust me, I sleep well, all right? Appreciate y'all, and if you're going through something, share it with me. I can sense and hear and feel everything. Don't play yourself.